Hello everyone, it's Ross from Mythic Mountains RPG Play Club. Welcome to our now over 6-month long running Mausritter campaign, ran by our Game Master Birdie, set in the world of Poppy by Avi. This is one of the best RPGs in a single box set that I've ever gotten for the value I paid for versus what I've gotten out of it. It's free online at mausritter.com. But the box set is also gorgeous and amazing and durable and useful. I've had it for years at this point. You could play this with a 5-year-old, and I have, or you could play with someone with no experience, or you can have a deep, long-running, evolving sandbox with a complex emergent narrative that comes out of it. And that's what I feel like we're experiencing with this campaign. So I absolutely love this game. Welcome as always. Let us know what you think about Mausritter. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, and we hope you enjoy our adventures as tiny mice. Mausritter by Isaac Williams at Losing Games is a role-playing game about tiny mice that must brave a world of towering trees, forests of grass, giant houses, and slimy snake holes in search for treasure and alliances to help their mouse community. Welcome to our adventures. We play the role of heroic mice set in the world of Poppy by Avi. The mice of Grey House are suffering and threatened by the owl, Mr. Oldcox. Can we find a way to settle them into a new home, or will we perish under the claws of the powerful beasts that prowl the Dimwood forest? Stick around to find out.
Seriousness. Let's see. What is this? We are the Anti-Squirrel Coalition.
Yeah.
Or the
Yes.
Backyardian Male Mice Division. Like, we came up with some pretty crazy...
We believe in bad gods.
The
like
Anti-Owl Coalition.
Yes.
Yes.
The Owl Oppression Liberators.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
All right, so starting off, to recap last time. Does anyone want to recap? We're in Basewood. We picked up where we were meeting this mouse coming out of the air on the back of a J.
I'll recap.
Okay.
Yeah, so since Rainy's kind of... Actually, I wasn't here for a long time, but... big and then small. Okay, so the big thing is that two of us, only two of us now. Two of us are from a massive giant house that's dilapidated and abandoned called Grey House. And Grey House existed under the protection of a giant owl called Mr. Oldcox. And the arrangement was that we would only ever forage for food in certain areas. And then Mr. Oldcox would presumably protect us, or it was for our own good. And, well, actually 3 of us. And one of the mice with us is Poppy. Poppy broke this rule. And when she broke the rule with her boyfriend, Mr. Oldcox ate him. And she came back, and her father, who is like the leader of Grey House, tried to get the people there to kind of hunker down and tried to work things out with Mr. Oldcox, and it didn't seem to work. And he seemed to have turned on us. So Poppy led 2 of us, Jerry and Pearl, on a big journey across the old abandoned vineyard to a big cherry tree. And then we started having adventures. And the whole point of all these adventures was to try to help the people of Grey House because they were starving, and to rehouse them. But what we kept finding out as we went from place to place and tried to build new alliances with new creatures, from snakes to rabbits to squirrels to birds, is that and new mice cities as well. Mr. Oldcox is just a terror. Like in the Dimwood forest, he is like the source of our problems, and we've pretty well resolved that we have to drive off Mr. Olcox. But we're just tiny mice, and we do not have the means to do that. Ultimately, I think, and I wasn't here for this, but they encountered like a snake prophet, or a ghost snake, or both, or something. And anyways, the snake said that there was a creature that would climb up and drive off Mr. Olcox and scare him off. And we don't know what that creature is. So now we've traveled to like a swampy, boggy Louisiana mice place. And there's like 2 mice groups here, and squirrels and birds. And we've been working between those different factions to try to figure out what this creature is. And we found a really, I'm going to go ahead and say they're kind of creepy. It's a mouse community that I think lives in a stump, but they are like, I'm pretty sure they're a cult. To be fair, we are also a cult, by the way. We worship the bats. But that doesn't make me less uncomfortable with other cults. And the stump cult, they have like a priestess, and we haven't talked to her yet, but they have this really cryptic, and they have an air force of blue jays that they can ride. But they have this cipher system where you have to like answer riddles to be able to enter their community, and then you have to swear to secrecy that you'll never reveal where they are. And so here we are, and we're there. A couple of things that happen, this is more in the near term. Having made it to that community, we discovered that Creekside has lost mice. Creekside was like mouse Louisiana. They were like living on like a boggy, pondy kind of place, and they would fish and stuff. And it seems Mr. Alcox follows us and kills mice everywhere we go. And let's see. The other thing, we got to know Twig the Gatekeeper, made it to Stumpsville, and we each have little small tokens, like little tiny ones that are pieces of a pine cone, and they worship a goddess under the leadership of a priestess named Sugar. And we are at the Fig and Basil Tavern, I believe, and we have some leads on what this creature could be. It could be a fox, which is north of that boggy place. And that could be a place for us to go, because to the north is also where the bat caves are. So we might be able to check that out. And there was another goal we had to the north. There are possibly raccoons, but they eat us, which everything does. So that's kind of a problem. And then there are jays, but they probably wouldn't work. And then there's a wolverine. But the wolverine, not only is that really scary, but he's like way far away. And I actually remember him from this first or second session, a rumor that there was a wolverine far off from the forest, either across or on the near side of the road. I remember that rumor. So I think that was the very first session he was mentioned. So yeah, so now we're like in this like occultic stump at a nice tavern. They seem like nice people, nice mice. And we're considering making plans to depart and maybe go parlay to the north with this fox, who they haven't seen in a long time.
Okay, so that's a really good recap. I will add, Rainy, your mouse would also, and it doesn't take inventory space, but you can note it. You would also, as a trusted adventure traveler, librarian in this area, you would have a token or a key to get in and out of Stumpsville. It's a little piece of a pine cone that they have etched a symbol into.
Okay, so that would be a token.
But I'm saying it's small enough it doesn't probably take inventory space. You would tuck it into like or somewhere that is easy access, but
To open to what? Sorry.
So they have a grated door to get in. You can't see in, but they can see out, and you just slide the little pinecone piece through the stick grate, and they open the door for you.
Yeah, into the tavern?
To get into their colony.
Oh.
The only ones that can get in are those who are recognized by a gatekeeper or those who have a token. So you would be trusted by them at this point. You would have a token.
Okay.
I googled, and the correct name is a pine cone scale.
Ooh, thank you.
I am.
I'll have to write that down.
I frequent this colony often to get to have.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like the books to go gal. That's what I am. Bring a little.
And there may be
bring a little
things
cart of
because
books.
you
Travel
are a
librarian.
librarian and you are familiar with this colony. Feel free to ask sometimes, would I know this? Or would I be familiar with this? Because there may be things you would know about this colony as someone who's been there.
Yep.
You would know Leaf. She's the little helpful greeter mouse that answers questions and connects people. And then Ginger is the manager of the Basil and Fig Tavern. And she knows things, which she will exchange for favors or other such things. Or information, which as a librarian you would have a lot of.
Yep. I would say my way to tie myself into this is that I routinely and regularly bring a cart full of books to the colony for people to check out and collect finds and stuff like that and leave. And do that on a regular enough balance that I'm familiar enough with the people here.
And you're on good terms with them, so you have that going for you. All right.
I'm the only source of books. Aha! They have to be.
You bring information which they value a lot. Not as much as other things, but it's up there. All right. So I'm trying to remember, did we leave off at dinner time?
I think so.
I think it was dinner time.
Yeah, I don't think we...
Right.
Did we eat yet there? I can't remember.
I remember we left off in a strange spot and we just talked to Ginger.
Mhm.
And you had asked her, and in exchange for agreeing to deal with the squirrel problem, she agreed to give you information on the creatures that you were interested in. And we turned down the offer of, for now anyway, turned down the offer of trading sugar with Creekside because of the favor she asked in return, involving sneakiness and going behind Brambly Hedge Merchant Guild's back.
Yes.
Right.
What is it?
Uh-oh. Gwen's having trouble.
Could add starting a trade war. Did I? Am I still there?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, I told them I've started having connectivity issues, so I may have to move to a different room in the house.
Oh.
So if I ghost, just like wave or message. I don't know. I may have to move to the dining room. We'll see. All right.
Yeah. No, it seemed like it was a bad plan to kind of... we already... It is not inconceivable that people find out we worship bats and then we become hunted by everyone and the campaign ends in enemy, whatever.
I do have a question. What about that whole thing about stealing chamomile from
No.
No. Yeah, they wanted you to go behind the Merchant Guild's back to steal chamomile. Sneak it. They're like, they don't even have to find out.
Yeah.
What they don't know won't hurt you. But
We're
if
not-
you want us to make any agreement with Creekside.
At this time,
That's
yeah,
what-
no.
And at this point in time, it's like, oh, starting a trade war, we could add that to our chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we're gonna aim to get if we're gonna rule the Mouseonomics,
Yeah.
we eventually
It's
have to
called
do
the
a trade
Merchant
war.
Guild for a reason. So if you do decide to take them on, again, what they don't know won't hurt you, but
True. See, this is how we jack up the prices. We'll just We'll ruin the merchant guild by causing high inflation so nobody can buy their products. And we will sell everything for dirt cheap. But
All right.
anyways, back on track.
So it is dinner time at the Fig Basil Tavern, and you're waiting with a little bit of apprehension because you all have very, very strong fishy memories of food in Creekside, and given that this is an entirely new, not talked about colony with any of the others, you're not quite sure what food to expect. But the smells from the kitchen are quite rich and amazing, unlike anything you've smelled before. You are picking up smell of varied herbs and a sweetness to the food, which kind of makes your little mouths drool as you smell this. And they bring out and are serving this amazing, like it's got little chunks of acorn in it mixed with different herbs. It's just this really rich stew. And then next to it, these little acorn biscuits, and they are smothered with this rich, sweet, thick, sticky substance. Kind of, you're not quite sure. It's like it's too runny to be icing, but it's this sweet substance. Sherry, you would know what this is. This is maple syrup. You do see a mouse that does not quite look like he fits in with the fine fern clothing and fine detailed leaf clothing of Stumpsville. There is a red and white mouse a couple tables away, and he seems to be enjoying his food, but every once in a while kind of eyeing you curiously.
I'm assuming that the he is a she.
That would be you. Oh, sorry.
That's
She.
me.
Sherry's the she.
Yep.
Okay.
Female
yeah.
mouse.
That's okay. There we go. So you find a female, yes. Cute female mouse, red and white, a few tables away, just kind of nibbling by herself.
I like her cloak. It looks kind of like the one I have.
Yeah. I go over to her table and I say, hello there. I see that you're sitting here alone. It doesn't look like if you, I don't mean to be presumptuous, but it doesn't look like you're from Stumpsville. Are you also a traveler?
I am, sir. I am the traveling librarian, bringing books here for the children and the adults alike.
Go ahead.
And you see her close the book, and it says "The Lord of the Rings" by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Nice. Love it. The mouse you see is a gray and flecked female mouse with bright luminous eyes. She looks like black, but it looks like she has stars in her eyes, and she's a bit plump. Despite her travels, and she has like a sweater or a cardigan or something, and she's always fussing with it. And anyways, she says, "Hello, my name is Pearl, and if you'd like, we would love to have you eat with us. You see, if you travel, you might be able to help us. We're trying to learn information about these lands."
At information, you see her ears kind of twerk, but when you see land, you see them kind of droop. Well, sir, I definitely am a curator of intellectual books and other information, but for lands, I sadly neglected my geography classes when I was tutored as a young mouseling.
Oh. Well, we have much we could talk about then, because I think one of us, and I look over at Marigold, and One of us might be interested in books, and I know letters. I'm in fact a map maker myself. I specialize in lands. But if you'd like, please eat with us.
Well, if you know more about land, then why would you need a librarian such as I?
Curiosity and pleasure.
Ah, a student. I see. Well, perhaps I can spare. And you see her kind of look down a little bit and blush, if mice can blush. So I got spare a few moments to socialize.
Oh,
And you see her kind of go awkward.
oh, great.
This
Well,
is not, she's
Pearl,
outside
Pearl's
of her comfort
awkward
zone.
too. Yeah, so is Pearl. Pearl's also awkward. So, actually, I think, are any of us gregarious? I don't know. Goose is.
Goose is. He's the young mouse traveling with you from. Is Jerry or?
No, Jerry. We keep pushing him to be, but he's not. We just make him do things all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I have a question for I have a question for Hazel.
Yes.
Hey, presumably we go back and we're eating. Wait, real quick though, this seems suspicious. Does this seem suspicious? Does anyone else have this kind of sumptuous spread in the tavern? Is this normal when we look around?
Yes.
Oh.
Everyone has.
Oh my goodness.
This is like this big sumptuous meal. And you notice they even bring out special little capfuls of this sweet substance on demand in case mice want extra for their biscuits, which
Wow.
there are quite a few who do.
Including Hazel.
Wow.
So they come in, they bring an extra like acorn cap
Where
full
do
of
they
this
get their stuff?
delicious, sweet, sticky, thick bread for your table to dip your biscuits in if you want extra sweet.
This place just worries me. I don't know. Cherry Grove made sense because they literally had that huge economic driver. Like they literally had an oil rig there with their cherries, like infinite cherries, and they could trade them. But okay. Anyways, Hazel, I wonder, do you ever miss the bunnies?
Oh, I miss the bunnies all the time. It's after the one bunny colony packed up and left, and I lost my friend and companion there. I've been missing them a lot. And I wish I'd thought before we left Creekside. It was Lotus I was supposed to talk to about making contact with the bunnies there, and it completely slipped my mind. I was so concerned about, trying to find this mysterious creature we need to drive away Mr. Ocox, and especially after, the fisherman went missing there. It was just all I could think about. But I do miss them dearly, yes. I would love to meet them. I'd love to try to meet new bunnies and try to form that same sort of friendship. I think you guys would really, enjoy having bunnies too. Everybody should love bunnies.
Yeah, I never, I didn't. No, actually, no, we did get to see one. We got to,
yes.
Yeah, we got to ride one once, and it was terrifying. But if I were honest, it was also kind of fun. But
you rode one a second time, but in a wagon at a much more controlled speed, because when you brought the mice from Great House to Cherry Grove to Brambley Hedge to Old Barn, you were in bunny wagons.
Yes, Pearl was 100% in the wagon. Hazel was riding up front with the other rabbit riders, and oh, that felt so good to do that.
Wow,
she'd love to do that again.
What happened with the bunnies? They were the ones outside of Cherry Grove, right? Yeah. So what was it that made them leave?
As I recall, there was a ghost or something. Is that right, Birdie? I don't remember exactly.
The rumor is that their burrow is haunted after they vacated.
Oh, it was after they vacated.
They are rumored to have. They don't know why they vacated, but there's suspicion that it may have to do with an animal of prey or a bird or some such thing.
Right. Yeah, they were just gone.
Ones near Cherry Grove stayed. and their burrow was more protected, and
Yeah.
they had the presence of the mouse guard from Cherry Grove. But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
part
we
of
went.
them helping the mice is you get our protection, as little as it is.
Yeah. Yeah, we went out one morning to meet them, and they just weren't there. They were gone.
That's very troubling.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I was so sad. And I'm desperately trying to think of a name for the rabbit that I was paired with.
Well, on the one hand,
Clover? My rabbit was Clover. Do we have a
There you go.
Clover?
It seems as if we could, if we had the connection that you had with bunnies as well, and with these birds, we might have a chance if we had something to offer these other animals against someone like Mr. Olcox. But on the other hand, I don't want to see other people get hurt. But then,
Yes.
that's sort of been our thinking up to this point, with me and Jerry anyway. Poppy convinced us to leave, you see.
Yeah.
It just seems like in the end, we're going to have to try to do something about this.
Yes. Yes, it's just awful. It's just awful that he's it was one thing when he was after just us, but now he's hurting and killing, mice from other colonies, and it's just not right.
Right. Maybe after this is all over, you could teach us to ride bunnies, and we could meet them.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that so much.
Okay. So the mice in the kitchen are eating, and they offer to see if you want any more biscuits or soup or bread.
I have a feeling that Hazel has eaten so much because she's got such a sweet tooth. She is just absolutely on the verge of having like a carb coma or whatever.
They are quite delighted that she loves the food, and they assure her that if she does love sweet things, well, she will definitely love breakfast the next morning.
Oh.
And again, welcome you, and so glad you could join. And they say when you're done, just bring them up to the kitchen counter area and leave them there, and the kitchen staff will take care of it. And you notice mice are starting to file out. And Ginger comes. Oh, did Ginger already give you your rooms? I think she already gave you your rooms. Down the stairs, and she said there were some.
I think
There was
so.
a hall, and the 4 rooms on the left were yours. And we'll say that Cherry is actually staying in one of the rooms on the right side of the hall. She was already there, so she has one of the rooms down there already that she is staying in for visitors.
Okay. Well, why would Cherry want to go on an adventure? No adventures, please. And thank you.
Well, she is a bookworm, so apparently being a librarian doesn't pay that much, and she reads all these epic stories about heroes going off and achieving great feats. So maybe something like that could be tugged on.
Well, Pearl will tell you all sorts of stories about Jerry, and half of them will be true. And he has a magic sword, and he's destined. He's one of the destined of the bat gods. By the way, there are bat gods. And we have a sorceress who is like a chosen priestess of the bat gods that can smite mighty ravens from the sky with a look. And
all hail the bat gods.
All hail, all hail, and the bat gods, and that's And she did, and she can. And we've done battle with rats, and with we have outwitted squirrels, and we've parlayed with giant porcupines. And you know, I am just a map maker, but Jerry and Marigold and Hazel and Lotus, they are heroic mice and mighty warriors, dabblers in sorcery.
Sitting here listening to everybody, I'm assuming all this was told over dinner. You show her your beautiful maps that just you can imagine the hills rolling through just by looking at them and seeing the landscapes.
I used
hearing
to
everybody's stories, but as soon as the topic of bat gods and legendary heroes comes up, she thinks you're all kind of bat crap crazy.
Well, we are.
But she needs to make sure what you say has awakened her childhood dream of becoming one of her storybook characters. And despite all this, she was like, you know what? At least you guys will be worth a few extra stories. And she agrees to go out with the next morning to go about whatever business you're going on to. I think it's probably going to be maybe like 1 or 2 days of just getting to know you guys a little bit better, so she can bring back some more, some fodder to write her own story.
We have something that might really interest Cherry, which is we have magic tablets with ancient runes on them that channel the power of the bat gods. So they're not books, but
that's definitely be something up her alley. Is that you can gain information from more than just books, and these would probably be ancient artifacts.
Yeah.
That would fit right into the library.
In fact, one of the things that is sort of a subquest that we're on is we're bound. We have a magic stone that Marigold knows how to use. By the way, you can use these things because you have a really high willpower. If you don't have a high willpower, these things can kill you. We have a stone that will allow us to speak to any animal. But in order to use it again, we need to invest it with a different animal who will hold it for a time. And we need to find one to trust.
Yeah, Hazel, actually that was Hazel's tablet that she gave to Marigold, as I recall.
Oh.
It was the one that she used to communicate with her rabbit partner. And, having no rabbits, who had... Sorry? Oh, no, I can't speak a word of rabbit. I need to use the tablet to communicate with them. Yeah, and we had a, as I understand it, an arrangement with the colony that left, or the ones that, they're there too, because the other rabbit riders also use the tablets, that, we had a means of recharging them. The rabbits helped us out with that.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Well, didn't the snake say that we could find rabbits in this area and might be able to convince them to come join us at the old barn?
Yeah, they're near to Creekside in the field there, and Hazel completely forgot when we were last in Creekside to talk to Lotus about it. She was so distracted with Mr. Olcox attacking and killing mice in Creekside that she was just thinking all about just wanting to find this creature that might help drive him away, right? But yeah.
Maybe we have to go recruit the bunnies before we can talk to this Mr. Olcox fighting creature that climbs, because we only have one conversation left with the tablet, and the bunnies can recharge it for us.
Yes. Yeah, and the bunnies move quickly, and that might help us because we're going to be doing so much more traveling.
Yeah, and we might want to get away really quickly if this climbing creature turns out to want to eat mice.
Yeah, that too.
That's a great plan, is actually to work with the bunnies to develop an escape plan. I think the question is, what is it that the bunnies need? That's what it all comes down to, is we all have to help each other. So
yeah, that's true.
But Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, if they have any beef with the Bat Gods, long may they reign. We can't help the bunnies.
Yeah, but we don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll see the truth of the dark angels.
Yeah.
So
who knows? Maybe they are the worshippers of the Bat Gods too.
Maybe.
You never know. Yeah, this is a new colony of bunnies. We haven't spoken to them before. We don't know anything about what they're like. But if they're anything at all like the bunnies that Hazel used to work with, they're just lovely creatures. They're just lovely creatures. Too bad we don't know a source of banana, because that would be the ticket. But most people think rabbits like carrots, but bananas, that's their weakness.
That would be a wild fruit to find out here in the Dimwood forest.
It would. I don't know if Hazel even knows that, but she might. You never know. But
okay, so are we serious that we want to return and try to court the favor of the bunny group?
Well, Hazel is 100%. But
and then
else.
we could actually, the idea being that if they're willing to help us, that we ride out to the north to find the fox. The foxes, they eat rabbits, though, don't they?
They will eat rabbits. Yeah. That would be a dangerous. But rabbits are also very quick and can get away, too, as long as...
That's a lot to ask of someone.
It is.
We don't have much to offer.
And the fox might not even be there. Didn't they say the fox had been missing?
And the fox has been missing.
They said the fox usually lives in the southwestern part of Jayswood, closer to Creekside, and she has a den there. But they haven't seen the mother for a couple days.
And in fact, we had run into the kits.
Sure what happened.
We had run into the kits on their own at one point, but there was no sign of the mother nearby either at the time.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
What were the other animals? There was a wolverine and a badger?
Raccoon.
There's a wolverine rumored to be far to the northeast. And then they said there are raccoons in the area, but they could be harder to deal with than a fox, considering they tend to be in groups.
We recruit all three of them.
Yeah.
we need an army. We need Wolverine, raccoons, and the fox. We did all of them.
Just get them all.
Plus the jays and the crows. You betcha.
Yeah, it's beginning to look like a very Narnia-esque assault here on the owl. Although we have none of that as we speak, we've actually made very little headway on finding allies that are willing to fight a suicidal battle against something with talons.
Yes.
The only thing you got so far is the crows, and they're more of a daytime alarm bell.
Yeah.
And they keep them busy during the daytime, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's possible the owl also harasses the rabbits, so that might be incentive for them to help out.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask this: Don't we need to go from the Jayswood? Aren't we kind of? Don't we go back to Creekside anyways, or like? Let me see if I can draw. It'd be like this, right? Let's see. So here's the Jayswood. I can get a. Is it going to let me draw? Freehand. Okay. Wow. I remember. I don't know why is Roll20 this laggy? That's weird. That's so weird. Okay. There's some woods.
They did some updates more recently, and I don't like the updates. But that's one of the side effects.
One of the good things about Roll20 is I could draw in it. That was like one of the main things. Anyways, I could complain about Roll20. And then you have like the Creekside, which has a fishing area, and then I don't know, it connects to a creek or something, but it's like a marshy place. And weren't we going to be looking for this fox, like somewhere like?
For some reason, the drawing's not showing up on mine, and I don't know why.
That is weird.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
I'm on the approaching Dimwood Forest page. That'd be why. I never got moved to the Stumpsville page.
Oh.
Well, that's sad, because that's a really cool stump.
Let's see. Is it on that page? Let me check real quick.
No, I'm there now.
Oh, it is kind of on there, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, approaching
It's on
Dimwood
that page.
Forest.
I could move everyone to that page, and we could take a look at it.
No, yeah, it's fine. No, I just real quick, weren't we going to be like we're up here somewhere, and we were going to head this way or something to try to figure out where?
So are you saying the blue is? Are you saying that's where the marsh is?
Yeah, is in this like where the Creekside kind of would be? Is like you have to go south or southwest?
Let's see. We'll do this so we can see.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Because it wouldn't be like a terrible bad idea.
So we have the marsh, which does this weird thing, and then we have Jayswood Forest, which is where we're at now, and that kind of does. Let me see if I can doodle it.
Are you guys using Roll20?
Yeah.
Oh, is there a
The link should be in the voice channel
Oh,
chat.
I messaged it to you.
Oh, I'm just blind.
It's okay.
Praise be to
Praise be.
there.
Okay, so this I'm gonna use red for Creekside. Creekside is like over here. And then you are in Stumpsville, which is over here. Okay, they said I used black for the bats. They said the bats are somewhere that way, and that's also supposedly where the mother fox was last seen.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Because her den is somewhere over here where you originally found it in the brush, in the ferns, in the paths.
Okay.
And then off on this side, everything is Newfield. And supposedly the bunnies live there, but only the Creekside mice know how to find them. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, and based on this information, then it actually makes sense to go like this, in my opinion. And here's my thinking. She has kits that might be left, or we could at least investigate what's going on, and then we follow her trail and try to find her. If we fail at that, we have to go back to Creekside anyways, or we have to go back to Stumpsville. But the thing is, we got what we wanted from Stumpsville. Like, what else is there we came to find them and talk to them because we wanted to find out information about these creatures, and we did that.
Yep.
So,
what about side quest of opening trade?
Well, their terms to open trade are basically to betray our friends.
That's
yeah, and it's kind of at least in Hazel's opinion, that's sort of lesser of an issue than saving mice's lives by getting rid of Wilcox, because he's just going to keep taking off. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to take care of it yet, but you do have the standing agreement with Stumpsville to take care of the squirrel issue.
That was the agreement, but the thing is that the squirrels will leave if we get rid of Olcox. So that puts a 3-month timer on us.
So yeah, getting rid of him will help with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I say that we go back to the area with her den. We look for clues, and then we use our compasses to head north, compass dead north to find her if we can. If we fail, everything that we're trying to accomplish is back towards Creekside anyways. That's my proposal. We're almost out of time for the night anyway. We've got 27 minutes. Hey, I like a good tavern session. I could sit in a tavern and talk to NPCs all night. I am that annoying player. I admit it. I know.
Same.
I'm the player that can't be bothered to look at a character sheet and just wants to talk to NPCs. It's insufferable. I know.
Okay. So is there anything you want to do in the tavern or in the colony tonight before you go to bed?
Talk to all the mice.
He ain't wrong. And actually, no, seriously. Actually, no, for reals. That actually is a really good goal. Like, and then next time.
We don't know anything about these stump mice.
We don't.
They're such a mystery.
And we
we should
might
find out.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, that was it. That was my whole line of thought.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean,
They could give us information about the area around here too.
The fact that they're so reticent to give information is information, and we can try to be tricksy mice and try to get information. Like, first of all, that would actually be good to resolve before we leave, so that we know what's going on. What if they're working for Mr. Alcox? No, I'm just kidding. But
oh my God, what if they were?
But here's the thing, right? Like, we don't know anything about Sugar or the goddess, so like, why don't we talk to her and wrap that up, and then next session, like, we know exactly what we're doing. We're gonna go try to find this fox.
Right.
Okay.
So we're gonna try to find the fox before we go try to find the bunnies. Is that your thinking?
I think so, because
Okay.
a couple. Geographically, it makes sense, and
Right.
And her trail's gonna go cold too. There's already something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and we have no guarantee the bunnies will even help us with that kind of quest.
What would you offer? What would we offer? You know, to say, hey, will you ride into certain death against a fox to try to convince it to join our army of bat worshippers against the owl?
Yeah, that's a good point. We need to build up a rapport with them first.
That looks like a Facebook notification from 2004. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, it does. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's go talk to Sugar. I'm still thinking about what we could maybe offer the buddy.
Yeah. I would like to learn. Maybe we should split the party and like try to talk to different people or mice or something. Or should we just all go to the temple and learn about the goddess and talk to Sugar? What do you all think?
Ooh. Let's go do some what is it called? Like argue about theology with Sugar.
Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah, I'm just genuinely interested too. Yeah, let's go to the temple. I agree.
Alright.
We could convert
Ginger
them to
stops by your table before heading back. She says, "Now, I must get some things done for the evening, but is there anything you might need before I head back to my office for the night?"
More syrup.
Well, that can be arranged. It also comes in crystals or cubes if you would like.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
This is Leaf.
This is Ginger.
Oh,
she
Ginger.
is the manager of Basil and Fig.
Oh, that's
and
right.
she's simply checking on you after dinner before she goes back for her evening paperwork and such.
Ginger, this is the best food that I've had in weeks. It rivals the cherry pies and cherry cakes and desserts of Cherry Grove. How do you all have such amazing food? Where do you get these things? Do you trade with someone?
The food is collected by us mostly, and then, well, as for the syrup, it is a blessing gifted to us by the goddess. It is a very special blessing and to be enjoyed. So you are welcome to partake of it while you are here.
Oh no.
But yes, all of the food that you see is brought to us by the few friends or allies that we have, and most of it is indeed harvested from the surrounding forest by Stumpsville mice.
Do we feel funny or do we feel okay?
You feel okay. So,
Okay.
depending on how much sugar you ate, I would say especially for, was it Hazel? You're feeling very sugar high right now, like hyper, and you could take on the world, and this is amazing. Very sugar high mouse. Poppy also probably ate too much sugar, so she is also very happy.
That's how they induct you.
Yeah.
If you ate a lot of sugar, you'd probably be a sugar high mouse right now.
Dear God.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's.
But yes, she does bring you a little small pouch of maple sugar crystals for you to nibble on,
Wow.
if you'd like.
Oh,
And
thank you. Oh my, thank you. This is amazing.
she smiles at Cherry and gives him a nod because she knows who he is, and asks Cherry if she needs anything.
It's like, just one minor detail. You don't have to take care of it tonight, but in the morning your romance book is due. It will incur a couple of pips of late fee if it's not returned, but I'll be busy tomorrow with these folks, so just have it ready by tomorrow night, if you will.
Oh. Well, if it's due by tomorrow night, I'm sure I could arrange that. You've been more than gracious with letting me keep things a little beyond date before, but yes, I shall have it ready for you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Will the next one in the series be ready soon?
I would have to ask the Grand Library. We, of course, are very poor librarians, and we collect dues to purchase new books.
Well, if you could make sure that I might be one of the next on the list to read it, I could probably, I don't know, throw in a sweet little offer, some pips maybe, or something, if...
I am sure I can arrange a few things. You are, of course, one of the most gracious patrons of the library here. And if I do say, part of the reason why I come.
Well, you are quite delightful, Cherry, and we are so glad to have you, and having the books available here to residents and guests is such a delight. Now, you two take care. These adventurers, I understand, can get into quite the shenanigans sometimes, so take care, my friend. But who knows, maybe you'll put together your own story after a little adventure or two.
Oh, as long as it's not like your romance stories, I'll be just fine.
At this, she laughs and mentions to you that she sent someone to fetch Leaf so that she can take you out if you need to go see anything. And then she disappears back into her study, and shortly thereafter, Leaf comes in with her little smile. Hey, can I help you?
Sure, you give her a pip and say and ask her, like, I'll be dreadfully busy tomorrow. If you don't mind collecting the books, I'll forego an extra week on your book. I know that you are a slow reader, being busy. Mausritter, would you be a dairy?
Thank you so much! And she's looking at this pip like you just handed her the world. She's like, oh, pip. Oh, and I get a whole week with my book. Oh, thank you. Oh, right. Ginger asked me to see if you needed to go anywhere. And she's glancing over at the group, and she kind of gives a small smile to Hazel and Poppy because she sees how sugar high you are.
Yeah. I've got syrup all over my mouth, over my face.
Has Hazel ever heard of the Grand Library before? That Cherry spoken of? Are there librarians who come visit?
not.
Right. Yeah.
There is a possibility Brambly Hedge mice may have. But I don't know if we
Right.
have anyone from Brambly Hedge with us.
If
so.
you've ever read The Rover, I'm kind of basing Cherry off that book series
I
by
have not.
Mark Ohm. It's a wonderful book. You should read it.
Okay. Where's the? I'm really curious. The Grand Library. I've never heard that before. Where is the Grand Library?
It was. No one knows exactly how old the Grand Library is, but the tells is that it survived a catastrophe many millennium ago, and us librarians have been dutifully protecting the books as well as adding new collections to it. For as long as our memory is, the chief of our order is the Grand Librarian, and I talked to him into letting us, a few of us, carry out small costs of books in order to have the world partake in the knowledge that we have so secretly protected. And dare I tell you, it took many years of hard work and convincing that old buzzard to let me do that.
Fascinating. And is it far from here?
It is many days' travel,
Oh.
just to the waypost, and many months beyond that.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's of course I do my route. I don't just singly come here to this colony. I travel all across the land.
And what colony are you heading to next?
That will be determined. I'm not quite sure yet.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm surprised you guys don't use bunnies.
I would never dream of riding a bunny. Of course, here in the story tonight, I would rather be terrified.
Oh no, it's not terrifying. It's exhilarating. Oh, and it makes travel so much faster. And it's always good company to be with a bunny.
Well, perhaps we can employ some if they'd be willing and kind enough to aid our cause.
Oh, I'm hopeful. I am hopeful.
Nice. Let's go talk to this priestess for the
sugar wears off.
Before the sugar wears
Yeah,
off and the night runs out.
All right. So, Leaf offers to take you to see her, but first she said she knows an area where they do have warm baths and warm water to wash off your syrupy coats so that they can be clean and fluffy.
Whoa.
When you go in.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
They've discovered not much else will remove this amazing sweet syrup.
Wow.
So you're able to wash up. They have these little walnut shells of warm water that you're able to kind of wipe down with a little bit. And then a little, it's like someone took cottonwood seeds and wove them together to make these fluffy towels, these little fluffy mouse-sized hand towels to dry yourself with. She takes you down into the stump and into a tunnel, which you can only assume to be a route. And despite it feeling small, it is well lit with beautifully carved lanterns, and the floor is swept clean with carefully placed pebble tiles instead of dirt. And she leads you through this route to a little gap and into what seems like another root tunnel, and you end up, she mentions that the temple of Aser Sakaram is in an entirely different stump and is dedicated to the worship and service of Aser Sakaram and the storage of the blessed maple syrup. You will here find Sugar, our priestess, head priestess, And this is where we have all of our sacred celebrations. Why, if you had come earlier this year, you would have been able to witness the sugaring or the syrup festival. That is my favorite. Or we have the awakening. That is so fun. So much color and dancing, and she just sighs, and she's got this dreamy, happy look in her eyes. And I doubt you shall be here for the Obsession. That is quite a few months off yet. It's not until fall, but... Well, Cherry's been here for a few of our festivals and has been able to observe and take notes about them, but it is quite a sight to behold. And she continues to lead you through. The tunnels are now considerably bigger, and you end up in a large main chamber. Let's see if I can... I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. So you end up in a large chamber, and it is, again, very well lit with intricate lanterns. And on the walls, you see engraved lots of different symbols and runes and pictures carved into the wall showing the life cycle of a tree and different maple leaves beautifully carved in and then decorated, almost appearing shimmery and gold light in the lantern light. The floor is again made of smoothed pebbled stones that have been put close together and is swept, is completely clean. It is a very well cared for and obviously special space. It is very quiet except for the little patters of mouse feet as the priestesses scurry around and take care of their duties. You notice an altar up ahead, and it is again beautifully decorated with these engravings of carved maple leaves that are decorated with some kind of shimmery material. And on top of it is a beautiful little, well, not so little because you're a mouse, but compared to other types of bottles glass bottles you've seen, it is a bit smaller, more mouse-sized, and it is filled with a beautiful amber-colored liquid. And on the altar around it is decorated with beautiful shimmery items, which you're sure could pass for pips, but they definitely would be of higher quality. The priestesses themselves do not wear the typical garb of the other mice. They are all instead clad with flowy outfits made of maple leaves. And they have this shimmery substance kind of painted into the fur on their head in a little pattern. There is one mouse in particular who stands out. Her fur is pure white, and she is standing near the bottle of amber liquid on the altar in the front. Leaf gestures in her direction and kind of bows her head and backs up and indicates, "This is sugar. It is considered respectful to bow quietly, to show respect to both her and to our Sir Thackerum, our maple goddess.
I bow.
You may talk to her, ask her questions, but it is asked that you keep your voice quiet and respectful in this sacred space. I will be waiting at the entrance to the temple when you are done."
That's so cool. That's so interesting. Since we ran out of time, is it okay with you all if we start here instead? Because I want to I'm interested in all this. Like, I want to like peel this apart. Is that okay?
Yeah, we need to find out what these Canadian mice are up to.
Yeah, exactly. Unacceptable.
Yes.
No offense to the Canadian mice.
The bat
There's
cult means
syrup.
the sugar cult. So
Like when we were in the
Can you
tavern,
imagine
when
the
we were in
power of bats on a sugar high?
oh my gosh,
Inconceivable.
it's syncretism. We do both. Have the sugar and the bats. Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable
does
menace.
it have to be mutually exclusive, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mythic Mountains RPG is a private online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Folk RPGs are the games that belong to all of us. They're what actually happens at a table between friends. It's their voice that has the authority on what is fun and what works for them. Weekly, we upload our games to allow others to sit in with us. The channel isn't monetized. We don't own the artwork, music, software, or games shown in these actual plays, and you can find links to their authors in the description. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, or don't. Just like games in person, you're welcome to pull up a chair, sit in, and watch some of our games. No performances, no fancy equipment, just regular people playing folk pencil and paper role-playing games and having a good time. We hope these games will prove a source of enjoyment to anyone just wanting to listen in, anyone looking for examples of how actual groups run and play folk RPGs, and most importantly, if you haven't found your group yet, you're welcome here at ours.